You've got to be the best pitch in the market.
Obsession now should be around preparation.
Agencies have finite resources.
Don't be greedy on the pricing.
Okay, hello from New York.
Greetings from London.
I love your shirt, mate. Very nice.
It's our uniform today.
It's good. So we're looking ahead. So we're in September 2019,
Yep.
looking ahead to 2020. What a big year that seems to have been on everybody's corporate planning. And we're looking ahead to what is building up, we think, to be a really, really busy year in media agency pitches. As it stands right now, we think that there are about 6 or 7 multi-billion-dollar pitches with potential to launch not just in 2020, but probably to launch in Q1 of 2020. It's going to be very busy, both for the advertisers and particularly obviously for the agencies. Right, so what is going on, and also what is going to be special about 2020, do we think?
Well, this is always a really kind of busy time of year for businesses like ours that help brands kind of manage and design media agency reviews, simply because this is when the preparation happens for reviews that are going to launch early in the new year. And we are anticipating a very, very busy Q1 of next year in terms of big multi-billion-dollar media reviews. The difference, I think, going into reviews of 2020, perhaps to those that we've had in the past, is that they're going to be more strategic, okay? Most of the businesses that are preparing for review now are looking at their own internal operating models, making sure that they are ready for the right media agency partner which they will select next year. The briefs that will go out next year will be specifically designed around the blueprint that is defined within their own internal operating models. There's going to be greater focus on data and technology, there's going to be greater focus on talent, and there's going to be a greater requirement for strategic leadership from the agencies that will be competing for those pieces of business. There will always be a focus on cost. I think the bigger the pitch is, we just can't get away from that. But I think there will be a greater equilibrium between the requirements of advertisers to demand smart technology, smart data access, and talent with that of the commercial side of media.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be somewhat a culmination of lots of thinking that's been going on the last few years,
Yeah.
which we've reported on, which is advertisers, desire to have more control, and what they mean is a bit more visibility of like the media operations and be able to impact decision making. So
Yeah.
that's been an ongoing theme. That's going to be really tested with some very big businesses in 2020. The second thing is defining that operating model, as
Yeah.
you said. How does the internal organization work effectively with external partners? So that's a lot of thinking been going into that. That's really going to be tested now. And the third thing is the in-housing. Related to advertisers taking control, but to what extent really are they going to build capabilities long term? I think we're going to be answering in 2020 that big question, which is, is in-housing actually really a thing? Is it a completely kind of structural change to the industry, or is it just something that people are dabbling with?
Yeah.
We're going to see that really put to the test with some very big advertisers making requests of their own organization and also of their agencies to adapt to that.
So what are the implications?
Well, let's look at the advertiser implications and then I'll come on to the agency implications. So for the advertiser, what it means to, if you are an advertiser planning to review your agency contracts in the next 12 to 18 months, then the big thing to be aware of is that it's just going to be busy. So
Yeah.
What does that mean? So even if you're a $1 billion media investor, you still have to kind of pay attention to that, because agencies have finite resources, both on two things. Firstly, the amount of added value and kind of extra negotiation that can be given, whether that's a discount on fees, which by the way we advocate against,
Yeah.
or reducing media pricing. So there's only a certain amount of room that's going to be available. And if there's $5 or $6 billion reviews going on at the same time, they're all basically chasing the same kind of commercial terms. The second variable is talent. So agencies Headcount in agencies has kind of dropped over the years. We say that talent is an increasingly scarce resource within agencies, sadly. If you're a major advertiser and you want very strong, the best talent in very different places, from leadership all the way down through to insight, strategy, planning and buying, to add value to your business, you're going to be fighting over the same people with other billion-dollar media accounts. So those are the two things to be aware of. Now, how do you get more than your fair share of added value and talent? Well, the thing is, firstly, to be a good pitch.
Yeah.
A CEO of an agency right now is thinking ahead of 2020, perhaps anticipating a busy year, and they have to start prioritizing their resources, both in terms of the added value that they think they can deliver, because they can't spread it to everybody, and secondly, how they deploy their best talent to either defend important pieces of business or to go win lots of other new business, to replace maybe business that they think they might lose. So these are strategic decisions that agency leadership have to make. So for the advertiser, that means you've got to be the best pitch in the market, because you've got to be something which excites an agency CEO to be able to say, that they want to win it, that they know how to win it, and that it's winnable, and that they can deploy their resources to win that piece of business. It's a sad truth, but it's the commercial realities of the agency business is that scale is really kind of seductive to the agency CEOs, right? They want billings, they want numbers. There's a lot of pride at stake, not only just the commercial terms on that. And so if you're $1 billion pitch, you've got to make yourselves the most attractive $1 billion pitch, which kind of sounds like a ridiculous thing to say, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
And we've seen that time and time again. A really well-organized and well-planned pitch becomes a priority for the agencies to compete within. And when they want to prioritize that, then they get more competitive, and that gives you the edge on securing the best talent and the best terms for your business. So that's the implication for the advertiser, is just do your preparation, get a really good pitch organized, and present that in a really attractive way to the agency community. On the agency side, it's kind of interesting because, we've said before on Media Snack, these commercial terms, media buying is really just the kind of point of entry at this point. For a multi-billion-dollar media account, all the network agencies have the capability to kind of buy the same. The differentiator is in the people and the thinking and the systems and processes and stuff like that. So 2020 is going to be a really, really pivotal year for the future fortunes of media agency groups, I think. Yeah. We've seen lots of evolution in their models, whether that's the Publicis power of one and the consolidation of their media assets into a single Publicis media. On Omnicom's kind of innovation and experimentation with different media models. We've got Dentsu, further consolidated business. And Group M's significant change of leadership and some big structural changes at Group M, with the agencies that lie underneath, and that's something that Christian Duell, the new CEO of Group M, is looking at. These are all going to be put to the test with some of the biggest accounts, up for grabs, and we will know in a year's time, which of those models is most meeting these advanced and evolved needs of advertisers. So. Lots to play for, Absolutely. Lots of preparation to do on both sides. Right then, so what should marketers be thinking about?
Well, if they're going to go to review next year, the obsession now should be around preparation. Make sure that you are as well prepared as you possibly can. And what I mean by that is have a really clear perspective as to what you are looking for from a future media agency partner. Not a media agency partner that can fulfill your requirements only in 2020, but a partner that can take you on the journey you need to be on for the next 3 years. Okay, so it's being really, really clear what that agency scope is, what the KPIs you're going to be setting the agency. But critically also is don't be greedy on the pricing, okay? There is an addiction in the marketplace that pushes agencies as part of these tendering processes to places that frankly they can't sustain those prices, and it's a fool's gold. Nobody wins from that. So pricing, savings, value generation, these are all important components of modern pitches, but don't be greedy. Understand what value you are looking to extract And here's a challenge and perhaps a suggestion to the market. Why not actually be transparent to the agencies? Why not be clear as to what savings you are looking to extract as part of this process? And be open and clear with that as an objective of the process, and see how well the agencies respond to that as a demand. So there's a suggestion. And thirdly, be really, really clear and considered with the briefing materials. The more strategic, the more thoughtful, the better designed the briefing materials by which you go to market next year will help ensure that perhaps your pitch is considered a priority within the agency CEOs, as Tom mentioned. So preparation is key. Don't be greedy and obsess around those pitch materials.
Good. Well, that's good advice. We have tons of material for all of this kind of preparation stuff. If you're interested, you can go to idcomms.com. Kind of dig around. We have checklists and planning templates and all kinds of things for our advice how to get pitches to be a priority for the agency.
Yeah.
As always, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Use the button down below and press on the little bell to be alerted to future episodes. But I think that is your media snack for this week. Thank you very much for watching.
See you next time.